We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. President Biden making a surprise visit to Ukraine. The aid the president is offering and the milestone this visit is marking. Topping local news in a city in crisis, many are looking beyond local leadership for help, and they're asking what state leaders can do. We'll look at the governor's influence on local crime prevention. And growing concern about oversight and local government. How a controversial contract signed by the mayor is raising bigger questions about the power structure inside City Hall. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. We start with breaking news now. The representative for the family of Deontay Dorsey says their home was shot up Friday night. Thiru Vignarajah speaking right now. You'll recall that 16-year-old Deontay Dorsey was gunned down last month at Edmondson Village, right across the street from Edmondson, the high school that he went to. 5 other students were hurt in the shooting. A 16-year-old suspect was arrested last week and charged with first-degree murder in the case. Now, it is unclear if this shooting and the arrest are connected. We'll, of course, bring you the latest on the case and these new developments on Fox 45 News at 4. Continuing coverage now of Mayor Brandon Scott's controversial conduit deal with BGE.
First of all, we don't know if this is a good deal or not.
As Olivia Dance shows us, Baltimore City Comptroller Bill Henry is now questioning the mayor's motives with the deal and his overall transparency. Olivia.
On Thursday, the City Council committee investigating the mayor's deal will meet here at City Hall, and the committee has the power to ask for records and information on the contract. This deal would give BGE control of the city's entire underground conduit system. In exchange, BGE would pay the city $134 million for improvements between now and 2027. Baltimore would also receive $1.5 million a year from BGE in fees. But Comptroller Henry believes the contract was rushed, and he wants to see data to make sure that BGE is actually offering a good deal.
First of all, we don't know if this is a good deal or not. We should be expecting that the consultant that we hired last fall and are paying $50,000 to study the conduit issue, we should expect that they should finish their report and present that information to residents and officials before we make any decision.
Henry believes the deal would take power away from city leaders, allowing BGE to bypass some city rules and regulations. Mayor Scott approved the deal during a Board of Estimates meeting last week, despite City Council President Mosby and Comptroller Henry sitting out of the vote. Besides the meeting on Thursday, the Comptroller says that the deal will be back on the agenda for the board's next meeting, which is on March 1st. For now, reporting in Baltimore, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News, Midday.
Last week, Fox 45 News' Mackenzie Frost questioned the mayor on the controversial deal.
Do you have anything to gain personally from this contract?
Mackenzie, that's the most disrespectful questions you've ever asked me. No.
Fox 45 spoke with the rhetoric professor about the mayor's reaction to the question.
You don't answer a question by telling the person that it's disrespectful. You answer the question. If you think it's irrelevant, you say it's irrelevant. His go-to reaction to bad news is not to talk about policy development, but to get angry at those who report the bad news and question about leadership.
Well, this brings us to our question of the day. Do you approve of Mayor Scott's job performance? So far, 98% of voters say no. Head to foxbaltimore.com/vote to weigh in. As the crime crisis continues, many residents are looking to Governor Wes Moore now for solutions. Fox 45 News pressed the governor on his support of a new crime bill. Taylor Stewart brings us his response.
House Bill 481 is the only bill in the House right now that addresses stiffer penalties for illegal gun offenders, even first-time gun offenders. Now, that legislation has been backed by City State Attorney Ivan Bates. It would move the penalty from 3 years to 5 years behind bars. Now, keep in mind, in the state of Maryland, offenders are only required to serve 25% of their sentence. Supporters of this bill say it does not take anything from the judge in terms of their power to impose what they feel is a necessary and just sentence away. And while Governor Wes Moore says he's on board with this legislation, more needs to be done.
We we think it needs to be a really holistic approach, and that while the sentencing pieces were very involved in that, the sentencing alone is not going to solve this challenge.
The governor says his administration is also investing in Baltimore's police department and the Attorney General's office by helping them build up their crime-fighting unit. Nothing right now on the books, though, but that's his commitment to Baltimore. We're in Federal Hill. I'm Taylor Stewart, Fox 45 News.
11:05 now. Here's a look at today's top trending stories. Trending number one, Fox 45 News is questioning Governor Wes Moore about a recent Project Baltimore report showing nearly 24 schools where not a single student among those tested is doing math at grade level. The governor says the state is working to improve schools, pointing to the $500 million additional dollars he is sending to the Kerwin Education Plan as part of his budget. Project Baltimore is reporting the governor's plan to cut funding, though, from the Boost program. Project Baltimore sent several questions to the governor about that decision. They will have a full report coming up this week. Trending number two, the Baltimore County detective hurt in a two-day manhunt earlier this month has been released from the hospital. Detective Jonathan Chee spent 10 days at shock trauma. He was shot during a standoff and barricade situation in Cockeysville earlier this month. The suspect in that case now faces 3 charges of attempted murder and is due back in court next month. Trending number three, President Biden makes a surprise visit to Ukraine to meet with President Volodymyr Zelensky. In joint remarks, President Biden announced $500 million in assistance. The visit and show of solidarity comes just 4 days before the one-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news, weather, anytime. Search WBFF in your app store. It is President's Day, and that means lots of sales to take part in. We're going to tell you the big-ticket items that expert shoppers say you'll save the most on. The build-up to New Orleans' most festivus celebration is not off to a good start. Still ahead, a deadly shooting on a Mardi Gras parade route. What police have found so far. Plus, a local star shines bright during the NBA All-Star Weekend. The praise King James gave the young guard after he dunked his way to victory.
We're tracking mostly cloudy skies for the afternoon on your President's Day Monday. It will be a bit warmer, however, with temperatures that will stay in the mid to upper 60s and wild temperature swings for sure this week. So over the next couple of hours, those numbers eventually climb in the low to mid 60s, keeping that cloud cover around with us through most of the afternoon, but well above the average of 47. Back with your full forecast. We'll do that in just a few.
Fox 45 News, winner of 17 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
(11:09) now, and taking a look at your social stream. It has been nearly a year since Russian forces rolled into Ukraine, and there are no real signs of a way out of the conflict. Neither side appears primed for an outright military victory, and progress at the negotiating table seems just as unlikely. Analysts estimate that about 200,000 Russian troops have been killed or wounded in the war so far. By comparison, Ukraine has seen some 100,000 killed or wounded in action and 30,000 civilian deaths. Meanwhile, neither Russian leader Vladimir Putin nor Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky show any signs of backing down and abandoning one of the largest military conflicts since the end of World War II. Here's what you're saying about it. One person, a never-ending string of lies. Now, after nearly 1 year, even Macron has admitted that Russia lied to him. I have had enough of everything Russian and Russians for the rest of my life. Another person, exactly 1 year ago, Putin's spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that Russia wasn't going to attack Ukraine, and it never attacked anyone. 4 days later, Russia launched a full-scale attack against Ukraine. Please stop talking about negotiations with Russia, because they always lie. Well, according to police, a shooting Sunday night along a Mardi Gras parade route in New Orleans left one person dead and 4 others wounded. 3 of the 5 victims were men, along with a woman and a young girl. A suspect is now in custody. This latest mass shooting comes just ahead of the city's Mardi Gras celebration this week. The U.S. has already seen 80 mass shootings in 2023. People are getting tired of it. One person, for the love of God, why? Another saying, wow, I thought my week at Mardi Gras was pretty crazy. Nobody got shot, though. It was another eventful NBA All-Star weekend, but especially for one player. You've probably never heard of him, maybe, but by now you probably have. His name is Matt McClung. Long before he won the dunk contest at NBA All-Star Saturday, he was a YouTube phenomenon. Now, this unknown guard from a small town in Virginia became the league's dunk champion. Look at that. And finally brought buzz back to an event that had been more criticized than celebrated. Yes, the look on everyone's face over the last few years. Look at that. And then behind, wow. Wow, exactly. I'm saying wow, and here's what this person says. Wow, Mac McClung is great. That was pretty cool. Controversy is stirring at Disney. Still ahead, what employees have to say about the new policy change to bring people back to work in person. Plus, 1 week after a deadly mass shooting, Spartan students and staff are back on the Michigan State University campus. Coming up, how school officials plan to help students the remainder of this semester. And coming up later today at noon, it's Karamo. Then at 1, it's Sherry, followed by Hot Bench at 2. 11:12 now on Fox 45 News Midday. (11:14). We're back with a live look over the Inner Harbor. A cool start to your Monday morning, and it will be cloudy today, but temperatures will reach the 60s. Coming up, when the clouds will give way to even warmer temperatures. We're talking about 70s. Making headlines this morning, it has been a violent weekend across America. Multiple mass shootings in multiple states. In neighboring Pennsylvania, a police officer was killed. Police say a teenager is responsible for shooting and killing a Temple University police officer who was responding to a carjacking. 18-year-old Miles Pfeffer was arrested on Sunday. He's now charged with murdering Officer Christopher Fitzgerald. The 31-year-old officer leaves behind a wife and 4 children. He was also the son of Denver Transport Police Chief Joel Fitzgerald Sr. Now, you may recall Fitzgerald Sr. was once tapped to lead the Baltimore Police Department. In 2019, he was selected by former Mayor Catherine Pugh to lead the department before abruptly pulling his name from consideration. In Memphis, 1 person is dead and 10 more are injured in a pair of shootings that police believe are connected. Authorities released these images of 3 suspects that investigators believe were at the Live Lounge nightclub when the shootings took place. While on the scene, they were notified of a second shooting about a mile away where they found 1 man dead, 3 others in critical condition. Today, students and staff at Michigan State University are expected to return to campus following last week's deadly mass shooting there. Today marks 1 week since a man shot and killed 3 students and injured 5 others. School officials say they are stepping up security on campus, and they're asking instructors to accommodate students throughout the rest of the semester. Topping your consumer news, starting next month, Twitter Blue subscribers will be the platform's only users who will be able to use text messages as a 2-factor authentication method. The change goes into effect March 20th. Twitter users will have 2 other ways to authenticate their Twitter logins at no cost: an authentication mobile app and a security key. 2-factor authentication is also known as 2FA. It requires users to type in their password and then enter a code or a security key to access their accounts. And speaking of Twitter, the company was the first to announce paid verification, and now Facebook is jumping on the bandwagon. Meta says it is testing a subscription service for Instagram and Facebook users that would charge them to be verified. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg made the announcement Sunday. The service will be known as Meta Verified. It will start at $11.99 a month on the web or $14.99 a month on iOS. Disney employees are pushing back against plans to require them to work in person. More than 2,000 employees have signed a petition against returning to the office. Disney CEO Bob Iger announced last week that he wants workers back in the office 4 days a week. The employees are claiming the policy change will spark, quote, forced resignations among some of our most hard-to-replace talent in vulnerable communities and dramatically reduce productivity, output, and efficiency. And it's not just Disney that wants workers back in the office. Starting May 1st, Amazon will require thousands of office employees to work in person at least 3 days a week. It marks the end of the e-commerce giant's remote and hybrid-friendly policy. The move is part of Amazon's continuing shift away from its pandemic posture, which led the company to double its fulfillment centers in just 2 years. History is made at the Daytona 500. The race went into double overtime. A record 212 laps and an incredible 530 miles. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. crossed the finish line first. Oh, look at that. Always the bumps and bruises there. The longest Daytona 500 race ever helped kick off the NASCAR season. Now, Stenhouse Jr.'s victory is the 3rd of his career and the 1st since July of 2017. His 199 race winless streak was the 4th longest stretch between wins in Cup Series history. That's a big win then. While the Ravens remain committed to their biggest offseason priority, that's getting a contract for Lamar Jackson, they at least crossed another major need off the list, a new offensive coordinator. Former Georgia offensive coordinator Todd Monken will be announced tomorrow. Monken's introduction will hopefully help answer some questions like, was Lamar Jackson involved in the hiring process? And is the MVP quarterback's future something that Monken wanted to know about before taking the Ravens OC gig? Well, coming up later tonight on Fox 45 News at 4, family pushing for justice is targeted. The calls for change to Baltimore's stop snitching culture after a victim's home was shot up. Then at 5, calls for reform after a deal could help lead to a major price hike for your utilities. The latest on the controversy surrounding Mayor Scott's conduit plan. And at 6, a possible crackdown on dangerous street racing in Baltimore, while one local leader says the police department is taking the right steps to make the city streets safe. A cooler and cloudy start to our Monday here at home. Nothing, though, like the snowy conditions meteorologist Justin Chambers shows us those in Minnesota are seeing.
Well, I know we haven't seen a lot of snow around here, but folks in Minnesota getting ready for more of that snow. Big snowstorm is tracking across the northern and central plains and over the western part of the country. This is just the beginning of some of those snow showers that they saw here earlier on Monday morning. As for us, we're going to be talking about well above average temperatures, possibly even record-breaking high temperatures as we head later into the week. So your hour-by-hour forecast, low to mid-60s over the next couple of hours, keeping the cloudy skies around. 47 is typically where we are this time of year. We're going to top out in the mid-60s. We'll drop to the upper 40s tonight and remain in the mid-60s again tomorrow, even though that wind is going to pick up on your Tuesday afternoon. So our quick glance forecast looks like this: 65 for our high. May see a stray shower late this afternoon. Sun will be up until 5:49, but we won't see much of the sun today. And you can check out some of those numbers. Eastern Shore a little cooler with mid to upper 50s for Stevensville and Chestertown down through Easton. 64 in Annapolis, 63 Columbia, and mid-60s in Baltimore City. Up and down the 95 corridor, we're keeping those 60s going for Philly and Baltimore down through D.C. And if you do want to fly today, pilots, we do have visual flight rules pretty much all day, so no issues with that. Look at this temperature tracker. We talk about a roller coaster. This is pretty much the definition of that, with 60s today and tomorrow, dropping to only the 40s Wednesday. We shoot up to the upper 70s on Thursday. Those are the record high days that we're talking about. 78 is the record, so pretty close to that number. Some of the models want to put us at 80 degrees. I think that's a little much. And then back into the 40s and 50s as we head toward the weekend, where we could be tracking snow, at least for some. Our future scan looking like this, keeping those clouds around. May see a stray shower late this afternoon and into the overnight hours tonight. Then that weak cold front's going to come through. It's actually going to be a pretty strong cold front, I should say, on Tuesday afternoon, picking up the wind, drying us out, but cooling us down into Wednesday. Then here's that 10-day forecast. So there's the numbers we were just talking about. We're back to the 40s here with a chance of a couple of flurries around parts of the area Saturday, back to 60 on Sunday, and then those 50s for the first part of next week.
Well, still ahead, trying to cut back on coffee, how drinking more coffee of a different variety might help. And a warning, inflation is already driving up grocery prices, and things might only get worse before they get better. The company announcing a new wave of price hikes. That's coming up. 11:22 now on Fox 45 News Midday. 11:25, trending now, a South Carolina family raises hundreds of thousands of dollars for a pizza delivery driver who fell while making a delivery at their home. The family set up a GoFundMe page to help Barbara Gillespie because, look, you'll see what happens. Now, their initial goal was to raise enough money just to help her take a few days off, but the fundraiser went viral. Oh, and in all, it has now brought in more than $250,000, and it's still going. So thanks to that money Gillespie has put in her 2 weeks at Domino's, she is officially retiring. Well, don't miss this. If you are looking to cut back on your coffee habit, drinking decaf may help you do it without the caffeine withdrawals. That's according to researchers in Australia. Now, for this study, researchers looked to people who drank 3 to 4 cups of coffee a day. They put the volunteers into 3 different groups. 2 groups were given decaf coffee, with one believing it was regular coffee, while the third group was given water. The team found that participants who consumed the decaf coffee, even when they didn't know it was decaf, experienced fewer withdrawal symptoms like headaches, irritability, and fatigue. Nestle, the world's largest food company, is raising prices. The company is telling consumers many of its 2,000 brands will get more expensive this year. Last year, the company raised prices an average of 8.2%, but says those price hikes weren't enough to offset its own costs, and bigger price hikes are coming. Time now for your lunch break. Amazon is planning to double down on its physical grocery business. CEO Andy Jassy told the Financial Times that the company is looking for a format that it likes after postponing its plans to grow the Amazon Fresh footprint. Amazon reported $720 million in impairment charges in the fourth quarter due to closing Amazon Fresh and Amazon Go stores with, quote, low growth potential. Well, that's all we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyle is up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
Hey, what's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark. Happy President's Day. This is B1 Lifestyle Live from Studio B at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here, along with relationship expert and friend of the show, LaDon Black. Good morning. Let me tell you right now. It's President's Day, and that means lots of sales to take part in. Expert shoppers say now's the time you'll find deals on things like winter clothes and outdoor gear. That's because the stores are looking to clear out seasonal merchandise. Shoppers can also typically find deals on furniture, appliances, and mattresses, and new electronics, and even big-ticket items like cars are often discounted this time of year because trade shows are showcasing new stock, meaning dealers are trying to clear out older models. Professional shopper and relationship expert LaDon Black, your thoughts on President's Day?
You know what? I'm going to shop on President's Day because if the deals are there, you know, everything is going up as far as price. So if we can save a few dollars, I'm there for that.
Wow. Okay. Yes. Lady T, I know you're a shopper.
Yes, and I don't got to send Pookie and Ray Ray down the street to steal anything from me. So I definitely will be shopping because the deals sound right on this day, on President's Day, on Barack Obama Day.
There we go.
This is what this day means to me.
Wow.
Yeah, but definitely a great day to shop. I can't wait to see what's out there. I'm going to be on my phone like this. Look.
Okay, making deals. I am
Apple
tapped
Pay,
out.
hitting up the Apple Pay and everything. All them cash apps I got from Valentine's Day.
I won't be shopping because I'm tapped out. Now, a woman is getting support online after sharing how she confronted a company she caught trying to lower her salary offer. She says she was interviewing for a job when she was accidentally CC'd on an email from two hiring managers. The email discussed offering her a lower salary than they planned on because one manager felt she'd accept less. The woman says she confronted the company during her second interview. She said she didn't want to work for a company that didn't value its employees. She later took a different job making what she wanted. LaDon, how would you feel if you were talking about negotiating and found out a company wanted to pay you less?
You know what? I would probably do what she did. I would let them know that I know. You know, a lot of times companies get away with these things because we aren't open about what we make, or we don't ask other people, or we don't know our value. So when you have this information, you have to act on it.
That's right.
That's true.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to tell it. I'm the king of I'm going to tell it. I tell my salary to everybody that works here. I don't keep it a secret because it's leverage, right? Bosses have leverage. Lady T, what do you do?
Yeah, it's crazy because they will try to lowball you, but you have to know your value and your worth, not just in these streets, but also in your job. You really got to know your value and your worth and what to ask for. So I think she did the right thing by replying to them. You know, what if she replied all and was like, concerning your last email, concerning your last email. What if she hit reply all? I feel like that would have been like really G of her. OG. Man.
Concerning your last email, I've now raised my
per your last email, I want more money, okay?
Hello?
Right.
McDonald's overseas is taking down an ad that's being called tasteless. The ad for the chain's new McCrispy chicken sandwich was put on a bus stop across the street from a crematorium.
Oh, no.
McDonald's says it wasn't a coincidence and that they didn't instruct the advertising company to put the ad up at that specific location. Nonetheless, the ad is being taken down.
Ew.
So the ad is next to a crematorium.
What? I mean, it's basically saying this is where you start, this is where you end up.
Wow. Do you want some fries to go with pop? I mean,
this is where you start, this is where you end up. That is crazy.
That is funny. You know, now, our elders, we cremated all of our elders, so.
Aww.
But I would enjoy it. That's kind of funny, even though,
That's kind of
hilarious.
Hilarious. That's crazy.
Oh, so we all agree it's funny? We don't mind?
No.
Okay, fine. A controversial take. A former contestant on Love Island is going viral for saying she thinks kids should be banned from weddings. In a TikTok video, Olivia Atwood says kids being at weddings is unacceptable. She goes on to say even if she had kids of her own, she wouldn't invite them to her wedding. So, relationship queen, LaDon, what's your take on this? Should kids be at weddings?
You know what? If you're having a family-friendly wedding, I don't think there's anything wrong with having kids there. You know, we all love to watch the kids dance and run around and play. You know, so if it's a family-themed, a family-friendly wedding, it's great. If you're having a formal affair and it's all about the adult situation, then no.
Okay. Lady T, I have a feeling you ain't gonna have no kids at your wedding. What do you
No,
think?
not at all. They need to go home and sit down somewhere. Okay? Go home, sit down somewhere. Here's your lunch for the day. Leave them at home because they're not coming to my wedding. I don't want no kid stepping on my dress. I don't want no kid in the middle of the dance floor dancing. No. The only children that would be at my wedding is the ring bearer and the flower girl, and I might do a junior bride. I might do one of those three, but no. All the kids got to stay home and they'll be watching Disney Channel. I got y'all, but you not finna be at this wedding. I feel you.
Because it's going to be turned up, right, Lady T?
It's going to be turned up. Yo, when I start twerking on my husband, I don't want the kids there for that. It's not. Don't censor me on my wedding day.
Okay. The queen has spoken.
The queen has spoken, baby.
Yes. Lady T.
Yes.
LaDon, thank you so much. Still ahead, it's Hollywood's hottest night. Lady T is talking award shows like the Oscars. We'll look at the statues up for grabs. And get ready. They have skin just like the stars without the Hollywood price tag. Coming up, a new treatment that won't cost you a lot. Coming up next.
.org for more information.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
Tightening your budget because of today's high prices doesn't mean you have to give up on skincare. Genevieve Gorder is here with a deal on one of her favorite beauty secrets, America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
You guys, we have one of the hottest trends from one of your favorite beauty brands and anti-aging brands, Wrinkles Schminkles. Now, every time they come onto the show, and they've been coming on since the very beginning, we sell out. So pay attention because this is a new product. These are their self-dissolving microneedle patches, and here's how they work. You simply peel off the patch, apply with a bit of pressure, and you'll start to see the incredible results. I like to wear these overnight, and they literally melt into your skin. The microneedles are actually crystals on the patch infused with ingredients to plump and hydrate your skin, just like microneedling. A favorite celebrity skin treatment that you can now do at home. Collagen and peptides melt away and infuse deep down into the skin, helping smooth those fine lines and wrinkles, whether it's around your mouth, by your eyes, between your eyes. We all have our areas. Now, most skin treatments sit on top of your skin. The patches work below the surface, and the results come from inside out, into the dermal layers of your skin. We always sell out on Wrinkles Schminkles, so do not wait on this. They come in a pack of 4. Get a few boxes, try them out. Trust me, the results are fantastic. The deal on Wrinkles Schminkles microneedle patches is 25% off. These are a must-have in any beauty routine. Simply go to asadeals.com.
Hey you guys, I'm Lady T and I'm here at the K Pearl Tea Room in Westminster for a special edition of Spillin' the Tea. K Pearl Tea Room, they are known for the best tea service around town, and they're more than happy to always accommodate your party for an authentic tea service. Yeah? Okay, well, you know what time it is. Let's go spill some tea. right, you guys, this is the best time of the year. It's award season when all those golden statues are rolled out. All right, let's talk about this Oscars tea. I know the first thing that's on everybody's mind is who's gonna get slapped this year? But no, honestly, there's so many firsts this year with the Oscar nominations. Let's get to it. All right, so Michelle Yeoh, the first Asian woman, okay, to be nominated for an Oscar. Amazing. She's got a lot of firsts this year, so she's doing a lot of big things. Then Angela Bassett, first time a Marvel character has ever been nominated for an Oscar for her role in Wakanda, the most recent one. And also Jamie Lee Curtis, who's been cheering everybody on in the audience for years, and now she has her time to shine. She's nominated also. A lot of firsts this year, you guys. Do you guys know Colin Farrell? It was his first time ever being nominated for Best Actor. And then also Brendan Fraser, he had that major transformation for this film that he's in called The Whale, which is pretty awesome. I feel like it could go either way there. I'm kind of nervous to see who it is, but of course I'm rooting for Colin Farrell because what? I love a good first, okay? I think what people are mostly looking forward to this year is Rihanna. Okay, so Rihanna is prepared to perform also. So she's gonna be performing Lift Me Up, the song that she recently came out with. Now it's a little different. We're not used to this version of Rihanna, so it's a little different for us, a little slower, a little bit more of a ballad, I would say, right? She is winning this year, so she's doing the halftime show at the Super Bowl, and then she's gonna do the Oscars performance. Okay. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once has at least 9 nominations, and I'm thinking they're gonna take home the Best Picture award. I'm casting my vote right now. I think they're gonna take it, honestly. Just for the name alone, it's confusing and it makes you wanna watch it. So hopefully all those who attend can be safe, stay safe from any slaps happening that night. Hopefully my phone doesn't ding, 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 ding. All right, so I know you'll be tuning in. I'll definitely be tuning in. The Oscars air on March 12th at 8 p.m. And of course, I'll be recapping it all with you next time on Spilling the Tea with Lady T.
Still ahead, Making History, we'll chat with an area leader about how local leaders make goodness a lifestyle. But first, we'll show you how some simple, easy updates to your kitchen can not only make the space more livable, but more energy efficient as well. Stick around.
Meet you have a lawyer.
This is Be More Lifestyle.
It's President's Day, and we're now joined by someone who is making history as a leader. Janet Liriano is the CEO and co-founder of Inaru. You now have over 6 patents. You're the only woman of color to raise more than $1 million twice with a venture capitalist fund. Tell us about the work you do at Inaru, Janet.
Thank you. So Inaru is really about valuing every person in a supply chain that contributes to incredible products. In our case, we noticed that 98% of cocoa from the Dominican Republic is exported as beans and transformed into amazing chocolate for a much higher price all around the world. And we really saw an opportunity to bring that value back home, first in the DR, and really ensuring that our farmers get to benefit from that commercial success. So what we do is we directly partner with farmers in the community, profit share with them off of our finished products, really aligning our incentives so that the cacao that they make directly translates into commercial success for them and their families.
So what are the core principles of compassionate leadership?
Compassionate leadership is really about being curious and generous with your assumptions. So in our case, there are many intermediaries in food supply chains. And instead of seeing them as an enemy or the problem, we got really curious as to what function do they serve and why do they exist. And they do the very important work of moving cacao all around the country, and they aren't being compensated for that work. So that curiosity allowed us to develop a model where we partner with them, contract them to do all of our supply chain with us. And instead of having an antagonistic relationship, we have a partnership with our logistics partners in the country. Generosity means assuming that everybody wants to do good and being very focused on finding win-wins versus win-loses in your dynamics.
And how can local businesses gain great profits without compromising that purpose?
I think it's really important to understand that an organization is a lot more like an organism. So the tree, if you think of a tree, the leaves and the roots are in partnership together to produce a fruit. So Inaru has that same sort of concept that we see our farmers not as counterparties we want to push the price down on, but as essential foundational parts of our supply chain. And when you're thinking about aligning your needs with the needs of your partners, it's a lot easier to come to creative solutions. So really having a win-win mindset versus a win-lose.
Inaru will be at the U.S. Dominican Embassy this week with Dominican leaders across the nation. And what's the key to lead with love?
Leading with love is really ensuring that your intention and your actions are aligned. So a small way that leaders or individuals can do that is actually supporting businesses that's practices enable the sorts of communities you want to create. So I would encourage all of them to buy some Inaru chocolate that profit shares with producers both in the DR and values all of our partners by paying competitively and really being conscious about the decisions that you make, that they're aligned with your values. You know, every dollar is a vote, and you want to ensure that you're supporting businesses that are creating the world you want to see.
And we wanted to have you on to get the local businesses fired up. And what can local leaders do to make goodness a lifestyle?
Making goodness a lifestyle is understanding that, really being consistent with your intentions and really having patience to find the best results, not the fastest result. I think those are things that leaders want to keep in mind as they're creating legislation or forging partnership. Having the patience to stay in the paint to find true collaboration is something that I would suggest to all of the amazing leaders that are in town this week.
Well, Janet, thanks so much for sharing your great information, okay? It's so great to have you here during Black History Month to share this powerful message, okay?
Thank you. It was an honor. Be well.
Take care.
As we celebrate President's Day, let's talk weather. Let's actually talk averages for today, February 20th. Average high in the upper 40s, average low in the upper 20s. If you take the average of both of those numbers, gives us an average temperature of 37.6 degrees. In terms of rainfall, precipitation, about 1/10 of an inch on this day, and in terms of snowfall, about 3/10 of an inch. Now let's look beyond today and actually talk spring. Meteorological spring kicks off on March 1st. We group meteorological seasons into 3-month time periods. So March, April, and May would be spring. You'll notice average high temperatures warm over the next couple of months, from 50 degrees on March 1st to low 60s on April 1st. And then by May, feeling very nice with average highs headed for the balmy low 70s. And part of the reason these temperatures warm over the next couple of months has to do with our sunrise and sunset times and the fact that we're gaining daylight. So for example, sunset tonight coming up at 5:48, but by March 1st, we push sunrise to 6:39 and sunset to 5:58. By April 1st, we're at 6:51 in the morning for your sunrise, sunset at 7:30. And by May 1st, that sunset time getting close to 8 o'clock. So we're gaining daylight, and that means more warmth for us. us. As a result, our chances for snowfall will actually go down. Now, on average, we do see some spring snow. On average in March, we end up with just shy of 3 inches. But as we look ahead to April, our average amount of snowfall actually stands at 0 inches. For more information on what to expect, especially as we near the start of the spring season, you can always head to our website, foxbaltimore.com/weather.
Keeping up with clutter in your kitchen can be a catastrophe. Over the next few weeks, BGE and Empower Maryland are bringing you tips for energy savings and more. Your place inside and out with Megan Kolb can help you keep your living space livable. This week, smart storage can save you some space.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by BGE and Empower Maryland.
Has anyone else torn their house apart from top to bottom over the past few months, partially out of boredom and partially because you've had time to discover things that may have been neglected in the home? If this speaks to you today, we're talking about a few areas of the house that could always use some organization. First, the pantry. Go through your foods looking at expiration dates and adding some containers for organization to free up space and help navigate through everything. And next, the kitchen drawers. You know the ones I'm talking about because we all have those drawers. Try minimizing the items and add some drawer organizers to sort clutter. And finally, while we're sticking with those drawers, it's probably worth hitting the bathroom. Need help? We have pros in town who are here for you.
Your home inside and out is brought to you by BGE and Empower Maryland. When you choose Energy Star certified LED bulbs to light your home, you can save up to $3.50 at participating retailers. Visit bgesmartenergy.com to learn more.
Times are crazy, and a lot of us have had to make at-home adjustments. One in our house included creating an at-home office space to work through this pandemic. I thought it would be helpful for me to share some of the tips I've learned through this experience. First, for those who are on calls all day and you need to be on camera, your lighting is everything. Being able to see your face and expressions is important, especially when on sales calls. Next, invest in a chair that brings comfort. You'll be in it all day, and this is worth the investment to take care of your body. Another tip, keep your space organized, file your papers, clean your water bottles, and clean your desk at the end of each day. If you ever need a hand with any home improvement, we have friends ready.
Once, there was a man who grew tired of replacing light bulbs. Then, he discovered LEDs in styles for all his fixtures. And he got an instant discount. LEDs last longer and use less energy. So, less climbing and more saving. And they lived energy efficiently ever after. Buy LEDs for your castle and save instantly at checkout. Find retailers at bgesmartenergy.com.
There are
And that's a promise.
It's President's Day, and that means lots of sales to take part in. Expert shoppers say now is the time you'll find deals on things like winter clothes and outdoor gear. That's because stores are looking to clear out seasonal merchandise. Shoppers can also typically find deals on furniture, appliances, and mattresses, and new electronics, and even big-ticket items like cars are often discounted this time of year because trade shows are showcasing new stock, meaning dealers are trying to clear out for older models. And we got a great show lined up for tomorrow. A California zoo is offering visitors a wild opportunity. They can help name the zoo's baby giraffe. You don't even have to go to the zoo to get your name in the running. We'll tell you all about how you can get in on the action. I'm going with Ralph.
Find out how to have your business featured on Be More Lifestyle. Email us at BeMoreLifestyleTV@foxbaltimore.com.
Right, Ralph the giraffe, no, is it me? Okay, thanks for inviting us to your home. Make sure you follow Be More Lifestyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great one.
Thank you.